Swamp Memorial Hall for the Edenville Township monthly meeting. As we've been bringing them to you live, we're going to continue this as much as we can. And hope you all enjoy. Stick around. You never know what's going to happen. I want to give a big shout out to What in the This World Media for all the new subscribers. Thank you all. Every one of you new subscribers, you're very much appreciated. I woke up the other morning and I tell you what, I was very surprised at how many new subscribers I had and how many continue to come in. I do have a pretty good video from last night at Lee Township board meeting in Midland, Michigan. I have to go through that a little bit. It was started at 7 o'clock and did not end until 11 o'clock. So there was a lot that happened, a lot of video to go through. But we're going to get on in here, set to start at 6:30. Just got a few more minutes, and thank you all for watching. Stay tuned.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, this is good. Just, you know, there's some things about that, we've been looking at it, and that we go through. Yeah.
Okay, so the meeting is gone. Well, we're out of that. Will we work with them on the things? And then the exact number.
So luckily, I think we worked it out. There's still some outliers around the area, so there may be some sporadic areas of damage. The fact that we don't have, of course, phone calls, I would probably say that as well.
Well, if we do well this time around, we have to consider, but I think that's a conversation to say. We'll be able to take this out if we have to, like we have to backup, we also learned our lesson at the flood about having some backup carriers there, and how do we maneuver that, how do we approach that before we raise drivers? Well, I saw your email, you said he's copying you in any correspondence. I haven't had correspondence, or else I would have told you.
No,
So this was just, I think it'd be great. Yeah.
and he's out, and I can believe that he made Scott.
Yeah, we should for now, because this would be the only person for now that we,
Because we can get them different.
we can always change.
The order, I think we're good. And I'm only double plug it in.
The other question we have to ask is which EIN we use to use.
We're gonna use this in
EIE number.
and schedules two different things.
Because I think that's the only reason we got kicked out before is that I used the township.
Does it come on someone else?
Hello.
Welcome.
Hello.
Hi, Clark. How are you, Mary?
Good.
Good to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Or I can, it doesn't matter, it doesn't matter.
You go ahead and I'll just,
I'll just reply to the email you sent today. And
Okay, great. Yes, good job. So let's start. Can the camera see you?
Mhm.
Okay. It's at the-
Unfortunately.
It's at the
It's
top,
us.
right?
Right there.
Is there water in the way?
Oh,
I see
mhm.
Jim.
I don't really wanna be here because it's gonna be annoying.
Well, this one here, this had two tornado winds in it, but it's already gone. That way. And this other one coming. Dennis got him back on his, right?
Pardon me?
How many alerts you got already?
How many what?
Alerts?
I've just got 5 since I've been here.
Had 2 of them back to back down in Pontiac.
Yeah.
You got a seatbelt you're heading for us, Sharon, so we can all be belted down. A stretchy tarp strap, perhaps.
Your brighter headlights.
I'm back.
What's going on? I the first time I've had one says so. 41.
Yeah.
That would be identical, right? At least it's only paper, not paper weights, right?
Yeah.
You want an application?
No.
That today's agenda. That agenda.
I think that's what it's on. You got the agenda sheets or no?
We didn't print any out.
You
You want me to
didn't
start
print
with there? I could make copies.
Yeah.
I have a clean copy.
Oh.
Well, it's got all of them.
I don't know.
I got one. That's fine. Hi. Hello, Andy.
We have to pull this off.
Yes. It's around here. Just to be sure.
Yeah, just one.
Never ever tried to make copies, I left it in there. It's a smart idea.
It's kind of those sheets. I use the one way out of it during the board review.
You gotta plug in.
They did that, and I was just saying that when I made copies, I left it in that cabinet, and it's made it much more difficult.
Let's see.
This was a smarter move.
We're making a few copies and we'll get started for those of you following along at home.
You put a little cabin out there. Not many people have that close. With the paper storage and everything.
Recording in progress.
And that just to remind folks that by attending this meeting, you will be recorded. We will take this and we will post it on the township website. And it'll probably take a week to 10 days max on that.
And it's too noisy. It's not gonna work, sorry.
Okay. I think we'll be
It's
okay.
3 pages and.
Yeah.
Did you leave your top sheet on? there?
I did. Thank you.
Time is 18:31, 6:31 PM. Call this meeting to order, and we'll start off with the Pledge of Allegiance. Please stand. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with
liberty and justice for all.
Let's get, bow your head, please. For the benefit of my colleagues here, I would ask, to the best of our knowledge, are we in compliance with the Open Meeting Act?
Yes.
Yes.
Yep.
That's right.
Crystal? I think, to the best of your knowledge.
And speak to it.
Can't say that you don't, do you know of any issues or deficiencies?
I'm not aware of them.
That's good enough. I would welcome you all to this August edition of the Edenville Township Monthly Board Meeting. We've got kind of a full agenda tonight, but I think we can move through some stuff. We're making a lot of progress and a lot of good news to report back to folks. We will be talking a little bit about the hearing coming up this Saturday for the weed assessment. Let me just tell folks that I screwed up, and when I sent out the mailing, I included everyone in Edenville Township to get included if they had waterfront or backlot access. Turns out we've got about a half a dozen or so parcels way up in the northeast corner of the township that don't have access to Sanford Lake, but access to Wixom Lake. And those folks, I apologize, we will be removing you from the Edenville Township Waterway Special Assessment District because you get to participate with Wixom Lake. And my apologies for that mistake. With that, I welcome folks here. I would ask for our clerk if we could do a roll call.
All right. Good evening. A. Peters?
Here.
A. Peters? Here. Sperling?
Here.
Starkey? Here. Hauser? Here. All accounted for. Quorum is established.
Excellent. I next will look for a motion to approve the agenda, but before we do so, I'm going to ask that we have a hopefully very brief closed session at the end of the meeting before adjourning, take care of a little bit of a personnel matter on that. And so what your agenda would have said, ending at item 22, it now will have 22 as a closed session and 23 as adjournment. So with that change, may I have a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Second.
All right. I think we can do this by affirmation. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. We have an agenda. I would now like to open the meeting up for public comment and ask, is there any public comment? You have 3 minutes for the good of the cause. Is there any public comment?
Where'd you put these chairs?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm done.
No,
Okay.
can't if you want.
I'm here about the ordinance officer, is that your title? Coming to my home about some complaints he's had about me, so I would like to discuss those. I did plant a privacy fence, which is 18 inches off my property line. It is in compliance with being as far off the road as it needs to be. And I stopped at the front edge of my house, which I know I can go towards all the way to the back edge of my house, which I didn't do that. I did plant some arborvitae trees, which are taller in between my privacy fence and the back edge of my house. And starting at the back edge of my house, I put up a small 3-foot fence and some 3-foot arborvitae trees that are planted 10 feet apart, making it still visible for people to have, for the lake, even though the ordinance does not say that you can't plant trees, that you can't see through. I still left that, so you can see through the lake. So I don't understand why there was a complaint against me. And then I also put up a shed, and the shed is on the side yard, and that is along my fence. And from my fence to the back of my shed is about 8 feet. I did contact Tim Dana about how if I had to follow the 10-foot rule. He informed me that this was a temporary structure under 200 square feet, so I did not need a permit, and it does not have to be the 10-foot off of my property line. In fact, Tim Dana is the one that laid my pad for me and the shed, and so I know I'm in compliance. I just want to let it be known that Guy Gaskell has been harassing me as a neighbor for about 3 years since I divorced his friend. And because of this, I am on probation for my dog going on the vacant property that sits in between us. And I will be filing harassment charges against Guy Gaskell for all these complaints against me. And so I'm sure they will contact you, Art, about these ridiculous complaints that have been made against me. So I would like to get the input of the ordinance officer that was my house tonight, because I'm the type that I really don't like not following rules or thinking I'm in any trouble. And so I would like the feedback of the ordinance officer on what he thinks of these complaints against me.
What was your address?
5249 North Fox Road. I went through all the proper channels, contacting people, and did as I told. I had my property survey, I marked my survey. I did not go on the property line for my fence, it's a 8 feet.
Yeah, I think we're good. Well, we can take this offline if you'd like after the meeting. I'm looking at Greg nodding, so.
But the board has a chance to respond.
Yes, I would like the response from the board on what your feelings are, if I'm in compliance or if I've done something wrong.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, is there any other public comment?
I have a question about Cedar. I'm here for something else, but
Yes, sir.
Cedar to, the curve. Is that a no truck road? Because we begin tandem semis fully loaded coming down through there. One got stuck the other day, couldn't get up the hill. I have enough danger issues with that curve as it is.
Whether it is or it isn't, it's really not meant for commercial traffic to be going up and down there. I have called the Four Lakes Task Force, and they are speaking with their vendors. So it's not the Four Lakes Task Force that's doing it, but their vendors.
Right,
They
it wasn't them.
And so they are talking to them about that.
I'm even wondering if it's, they're not familiar, and they're just sneaking, they're coming that way, not, knowing that it's like that, such as abrupt turn and uphill. So just was curious, so.
Yeah, no, I received several calls and I talked to them.
Okay, all right, good. Thank you.
Any other public comment? Any other public comment? Going for the third time, any other public comment? Hearing none, we will close public comment at 6:40. Next, we have draft meeting minutes for the special meeting held on July 8th. Those were circulated. I did get some feedback, Kim, from you. I've incorporated those changes with that, and I would ask or entertain a motion to approve the amended minutes.
Second.
All right. Any further discussion, questions, suggestions, additions, changes, corrections? Hearing none, I'll call the vote. All in favor of approving the minutes signify by saying aye. Aye. Approved, opposed, same sign. Ayes have it, motion passed by affirmation. Madam Treasurer, it's your time.
Here we go.
Can we have a report, please?
Yes. In your packet is a list of our bank accounts, beginning and ending balances for July. We can start at the top there. General fund checking began with 55,000, ending in 14,000. We had a disbursements of 41,000, which included payroll and bills. Let's see, we're gonna go down to, the tax fund, of course, with the beginning of summer tax season. Our beginning balance was $393. Our ending balance as of July 31 is $143,000. I will get into more numbers, where we stand with collection, in a few moments. As we go down, I would point out the fire fund, operating, checking. You'll see that it received $5,000, disbursements $1,600. That was, to cover some bills.
That 5,000 came out of the savings.
And so if you drop down two more lines, Crystal, the fire operating assessment savings, yes, it came out of there. I just wanted to note that. And you can see the metro, the museum, there was no activity. We have a few expenses out of Parks and Rec there for $575. They still have a very high balance of $169,000. Swanton Hall there, ending balance was $37,000, not much change from the beginning. And then, of course, our solid waste began with 77,000, ending in 54,000. With those were $23,000 of disbursements to Republic and the Midland dump. Is what that represents. We'll jump down there to investments accounts. We have 4 in the M class. And they are all earning about 0.37%. And then we have 3 below that are money markets. Those are quite a bit lower at 0.03% earnings. The total of all bank accounts and investments began July 1 with over 1,300,000 and ending not too different of 1,392,000. So about
2,700.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I have everything. Yeah, I do. Yeah, I do. And I'm sorry, those two totals I gave were only for investments. So let's drop down to the next level, the line, grand totals of all accounts, bank accounts and investments, beginning balance over 2,243,000 with an ending balance of 2,313,000. Sorry about that, folks. And then let's drop down to the Swanton Trust Fund. We can see there's not much difference there. The ending balance for July 31 is 427,000. And then below that is just an update on tax collection for summer. Let's see what we've collected so far since July, the month of July, $206,000. That includes 355 parcels out of 2,034. So you can see we have quite a bit remaining to go. With that end date, just put out that end date or due date for summer taxes is September 15th. And on that day, we will be open 9 to 5. Let's see here. A couple other things I will note. We do have additional hours. You can check on the website for those. Also on the news board at the front of the township office. We processed our first tax distribution to the county the first 2 weeks of July of over $68,000. And then that's it for the treasurer report, and then may I?
Well, can I have a motion to accept
Oh,
the treasurer's report?
So moved.
Second.
Okay, any other questions, discussions, comments? Hearing none, I'm gonna do it by affirmation. Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Ayes have it. We have accepted the report. Thank you. Okay, Madam.
I think the next item on the agenda is the ARPA. And the only change that's occurred there with that account is the requirement to change our logins, passwords. Otherwise, there's no other update for that.
Cemetery?
And then cemetery update. I volunteered to oversee this cemetery process. And here are some of the things I have learned in the last month. Or was it less than a month? I don't know, about a month. I did experience the process of a burial, and I've also sold a half lot, so this is all new to me. With that, after consulting with a number of folks who had their hands on this, Lydia Draves and Deidre Lewis, former clerks, also Bobby Jo Crawford, former manager who worked here last term, Ron Jenkins, as many as I can to get the lowdown on how things are to be processed. So my key takeaways on all of that and analysis of what I know so far is that we would like to organize and of course consulting with Clerk Hauser here, because this is going to be a team effort.
I think that's gonna take 2 hours.
And also I see the need of having the information easily accessible for office staff and fielding calls, being able to respond promptly, quickly, efficiently to residents when they have questions. And right now I have quite a callback list that I need to get to. We probably will look at somehow developing a map of sorts that will be a good tool and resource in the office for serving the residents. Also maybe an online searchable list by name, owner, lots that are sold and sold, etc. We do have a couple assets. We have a Ponham cemetery software. And that subscription is for one user. It is limited. It has no mapping capability. It produces lists from the data that's entered. Lots of lists. And so we're gonna see if we can export that, utilize that in a way that's maybe serves the township office a little better. We have a metal detector, an asset, working. Thank you, Jim, for checking that out. Let's see. I did not prepare any job descriptions yet for any positions such as a manager or sexton. Still reviewing that.
No, I thought we had a sexton. Ron Jenkins.
Come to find out, he is not a sexton per se as the MTA describes a sexton. And in visiting with him, he does not want to be qualified as a sexton because that's a person who does field calls from residents.
Well, no, he's a grave digger.
So far,
That's
that's
a
his,
subset of.
his services have been as a vendor, opening and closing.
Okay. I thought he was still on our payroll as our
He is.
sexton.
No, he was
I've never
not
heard of
on
this
the payroll. He's a vendor and has been paid that way.
I don't
what we
think
found.
that terminology has been used before.
Probably not. We were,
He was called the sexton.
He was.
And I
And
know,
then we had a cemetery manager, so,
that's a
so are
miss.
we not having Vaughn work for us any longer?
No, he's willing to continue doing the opening and closing of graves, but not fielding calls from residents because his name was on our website and he was fielding calls not knowing, names, locations, sold, unsold. He could not answer those questions. So he has clearly been doing closing for us and still is very willing to serve in that capacity and has been very helpful to me in learning all this. The
now
physical.
become the grave digger. Or alternate
Okay.
closer. Let's get rid of a nice.
We can call him a closer.
Those are, yeah.
We gotta get him some title,
Anything else?
That's it.
Okay. One quick question, Kat.
Yes.
The new software we bought, that is that a little bit, is that working at all, helping you?
It's barely working and it's a subscription. Like I said, it does not produce any maps.
Only a
It
list.
produced lists and that's as good as the user has inputted. Okay, so I know that in the past, Lydia, and I've also come across some older lists that decades ago, so that will be helpful. Somehow, we're going to have to bring everything up and accessible, I think, electronically. That software in and of itself is one user. It's about $400 a year for their support in the technology of it. It is limiting right now the way it is, so we're still discovering that. I've only been in it once or twice and became as well. And so it's only on one desktop.
We did receive a map from Latin.
That was separate from the
That's not,
software.
that's separate, but we do have one.
We haven't, yes.
Okay.
We have some old maps on paper. So,
Yeah, it's gonna take some.
It's gonna take some
We have
work.
to lay that map out and see what we have and try to coordinate with
Yeah.
numbers.
Yeah.
It's gonna take several
And-
people to help.
and build it,
Yeah.
and to be accurate, so that I'm not guessing, we're not guessing
Sure.
lots and ownership and finding things, so, yeah.
The markers are buried pretty bad under the dirt, I know that.
And that happens,
Anywhere, yeah.
yeah. But Vaughn and his team have been very helpful. In about 5 minutes, they were able to show me 2-3 squares. That would be about probably 12 to 16 burial lots where they're located, just by metal detector, pulling up the marker, measuring, finding the next marker, and so on and so forth.
Or you could put a pole down there and bang on the vault like he did for me, I thought,
It was very helpful
need that.
that what Vaughn was able to do.
They don't wanna wake up anybody by banging on the ball.
No. I wanted to know where to put my feet, don't know.
Kat, I think you also have a couple of other things here.
Okay, yes, I would like to introduce a refurbishing of the Veterans Monument, which is in front of the township office. This monument is in need of new paint in the lettering, especially at the top of the monument, and it also
Yes.
has the military emblems on the front facing. I would like to introduce a motion to engage for hire past preservations to do this work. They did some recent work for us in our cemeteries, refurbishing some headstones and such. Becomes highly recommended. I believe that quote is in your packet.
Do I have a second for the motion?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
From the pictures that were included, it's kind of difficult, but maybe not too bad.
There are some loose bricks too, correct?
Well, we'll get to that.
Oh, okay.
Loose tile at the bottom, right? Yeah. As far as the monument goes, you can see by the picture that the lettering, the white in the lettering is not, it's missing, it gets very hot on the top there. The emblems still have plenty of white, but the quote is quoting both of those. Let's see, the paint lettering at $250, the armed forces emblems, a paint repainting, cleaning of $300, and then below on the tile base or foundation of the monument, there are 3 plaques. Those are bronze plaques, and that quote for refurbishing those is $250. There are 3 of those.
What's total body?
Totally, yes.
Okay.
Totally.
Any other discussion?
Did you ask him if he put any preservative over top of that, what he cleans them?
The bronze, he did.
Okay, done.
He said, and a clear coat, those plaques,
Okay.
yes.
If you haven't seen it, it's got all 6 services on it. It is very impressive when we first put it in there.
It's
And it-
beautiful,
It's worn out
very
some.
beautiful, yes.
Let's do a roll call vote since we're spending some money.
Okay, start off with Starkey,
Yes.
Sterling,
Yes,
8 Peters,
Yes.
8 Peters,
Yes.
and Hauser, yes.
Looks like we're gonna have some refurbishments.
Could we get an estimation of like how long this refurbishment would last? Because I think if we know ahead of time and we plan, there's probably grant money for this in the future. Not that we wanna delay it now, it needs done, but if we could say this should buy you 5 years, and we could create
Yes.
the strategy that we've been talking about for this, so that about 3 years, we start to look for a grant to do this again.
Yeah.
the
And
thing,
just a question.
the thing we need to look at is the reversion that he puts on top. Some only last 6 months. I wanna know what he's gonna use, cause I've got some stuff that lasts for 30 years. Okay, so I wanna see what he,
Okay.
I will call, ask what he has, what he's
Yes,
putting on it. There's a Guzan product, it's got a 207, that's good for 30 years once you apply it.
Okay.
But you have, when you start, you have 12 minutes to finish.
Is that epoxy?
So you only mix a small batch at a time.
Jim, is that epoxy?
Yes. There's a special 207 version,
Yes.
the high gloss, they're very resistant from everything.
All right, Ken, I know you got one other thing.
one point I'd like to make there, Jim, you and I noticed that the tile on that foundation around the monument is loose, and Justin noticed that too, and said he recommended a quote from someone who could redo that tile and grout and all of that. I did not go that far in this refurbishment.
Okay.
Just so you're aware of that.
I believe you've got a free flagpole for us.
Okay, yes, a donation for installation of a new flagpole was received recently from the Albright Shores Eagles. Jerry Seamster, a member of the Eagles from Tobacco Township, just a couple miles over, brought this idea forward and took it to the Eagles, and they have donated the cost of a new flagpole and a US flag and the installation of the same. One note to make, this is the same flagpole that was installed at our fire station #1. So it's supposed to last 40 years or so.
Roger nodding yes, that's a good deal.
That is,
And thanks for the reference, Roger.
you're welcome.
That total was about $1,300 for a flagpole. That was very generous of Albright Shores Eagles and Jerry for doing all the extra legwork there.
Do I have a second for her motion? Next person. Any other discussion?
We could probably find grant for them to do that.
Yeah, bet.
That's what I was hoping, because they're not in best of shape either. And I don't know that we would change any location, but that would be up to this board as far as the installation of this first one. 'Cause it stays in the same location as the existing.
Oh, so you'll take the other one down, an older one down.
Older one down, yes, there are 3 now.
Cause I was thinking, like, where else would we put a flag? Okay, so it's to replace.
It's to replace one that isn't working very well.
We're spending money, kind of, or at least a
Kind of.
pass through.
That's right, okay. Once again, Starkey,
Yes.
Spurling,
Yes,
Kay Peters,
Yes.
Kay Peters,
Yes.
Hauser, yes.
Woo-hoo! Yeah, anything else for the,
One of the things I would like to just share is MTA has a 2-day treasurers retreat coming up October 1 and 2. And I would like to take part in that training, and I can still register and take advantage of the early bird registration costs.
that's all in the budget we've already allocated
I believe so. For the treasurer. Yes, for the treasurer. Mhm.
And the clerk will be going as well.
as well. Okay.
Hello.
So the clerk's meeting,
To
right?
the clerk's
Good.
meeting,
Yeah,
yes.
okay. Well,
Yes, mine's the clerk's 2 days prior.
Super. Anything else?
I think that's it. Thank you.
I would like somebody to fix the potholes in the new cemetery. Every month I ask you, every month they get deeper,
Okay,
since you're spending money.
We're gonna get on that.
Well,
Yeah.
about the time my wheel gets bent, I'm gonna send you the bill.
All right, this will be my first official clerk's report. So, we'll kick off with, we have been using our QuickBooks software for quite some time. And I would like to retain a consultant, Cindy Dodge, to assist the township with overhauling our QuickBooks and with the primary goal of improving its ease and use of functionality. So, that's, I guess,
it's a motion.
it's a motion.
I'll second that, because it's messy in there.
So,
When do you expect to have the work done?
we're gonna have a first pass at it if it's approved later this month. You know, I think the big thing is just to get, the first idea about what we're looking at. Because it is, a lot of things have happened. I looked at it, basically, we've got about 10 years worth of data in there, accounting data. And of course, we've had a lot of changes in the Michigan Code of Accounts over that Uniform Code of Accounts over that time. So we need to look and refine how that's used and make sure that we're keeping it updated. And then also, one of my big concerns is how we're gonna use this particular software long-term and making it easier for the next people that come into office to maybe work. So that's a big, trying to get the initial understanding of that. Are we continuing any discussion of possibly entering into BSNA world? Moving QuickBooks Online?
I have not had a chance yet to really talk to BSNA to see where they're at. I know we've had some conversations with other townships, particularly Hope, who has
Made that,
BSNA,
yeah.
just a limited number of modules. So I think that's gonna be, I think the other thing too is looking at cost. While QuickBooks version that we're currently using is going up a little bit in price, and there are some kind of quirks to it, and there might be another QuickBooks version, but we want to make sure that when we do have a transfer, that what we're transferring is something that will transfer easily. So anything we can do now to start lining it up. I'd like to go ahead and start exploring with BSNA some of the opportunities they might have for us.
Makes sense to I see, I hear what you're saying, let's
Yeah.
get these in order before we do a transfer, but I think if I
Exactly.
remember when we were talking about BSNA, it was 2 years out.
Yes, and
It's
because,
scheduling.
It's 2 years.
yeah, and it can
Year and a
take
half, it was
year and a
pretty,
half,
it was quite
yeah.
a while, it was quite a while. My point would be, if we get this in place, maybe we start to think about that next step long before we're actually ready.
Exactly, and that's what I'm
because it's so
hoping,
far out.
as we also do this, it can look at how workflows might improve, how work moves, things move around, even things that move to you guys, bill review, and then particularly reporting, our revenues or expenses, cash flow balances, how we can beef up that and make sure that when we transfer, it works well.
I would say too about QuickBooks is that, one, Cindy Dodge has a lot of experience in QuickBooks. The various versions, cloud version, server-based. She has a lot of history and a lot of knowledge with that. And QuickBooks in and of itself, and she'll say this too, that it's not made for government entities.
Which
So
is
there
why I thought
are,
the long-term plan was
there
the
are-
BSNA.
there are workarounds that have to be done in QuickBooks. And the BSNA, what I'm hearing now, more and more frequently is that there's trouble. They're not servicing their product as well because it's gone public. It's no
But isn't that
longer
the software
private.
that the county uses?
No, it is on .NET. It's .NET, it's not the cloud, and they don't sell .NET anymore. That's server-based. So the cloud-based software is all they sell. We would have to upgrade to that. That would be costly. And I think that's one thing Kim is going to be looking at and mention about QuickBooks. There are other options of QuickBooks software that we haven't looked at to detail, but may serve our purpose. In the meantime, maybe it'd be a graduated type process to get to BSNA or wherever it goes. Now, I know I've heard from the county as far as BSNA, and they told me specifically, don't do anything. Give it a little bit of time. Maybe there'll be other vendors that come forward. I don't know at this time any that are available, but that just, we're looking ahead as much as possible to see where we can go.
BNSNA always had a heavy price tag on it also.
Yeah. It's
And now,
very,
now they got it down to 2 different times. You can't get the old one, you can only get this new one.
right.
That still has a cost. We looked at it, in the code authority, it was over 10 grand.
And I might add that when Hope invested, they were one of the early ones that went to cloud,
Mhm.
so they got quite a discount. Quite a discount, which is great. We could find
So we're looking to spend around $1,000 on this.
If you sit by 11, not more than.
Not more than, hopefully.
And Kim, would Cindy, this purpose of having Cindy Dodge here from MTA, would that also serve to help us get workflows down and other processes?
Yeah, what I'm hoping to see from Cindy is some sort of a good proposal or a good outline about what we need to make things work better, where that we can either begin executing it ourselves with some maybe ongoing guidance, so we might do something in the future, but I definitely need to have someone that has that background in township accounting and working with the software to give us a good look at it.
Any more questions?
There's a motion for $1,100.
Where is that gonna come from?
That is a good question.
Clerk's
I was
operating budget.
thinking,
Oh, it's the clerk's operating.
Yeah, we have some options. We can move the money around, and if anything, maybe we can split it between clerk and treasurer, since it would be your benefit. Right? And maybe even the trustees or the supervisor.
Yeah, because I have so many things going on. Yes.
So I believe we're spending money, right? Need a roll call. Okay. Kathy,
yes.
Crystal,
Yes.
Jim,
Yes.
Art?
Yep.
Yes. Thank you. All right, I believe we had no official correspondence received this month.
I had another question, sorry. The payment of the reoccurring bills on your group's report there. I've received conflicting information about that over the years. The previous board that we were a part of, we thought we were given permission to do that. And then when we started to do it, we were told that wasn't best practice. So are you, like, I'm all for it. It makes sense to me if we have regular reoccurring bills that we pay consumers every month and then.
I think you're jumping ahead.
Where?
It's 11.
We're doing the review of the bills. Okay, I need to get you guys to pay the first so I can
Oh,
write a
I'm
bunch of
sorry.
checks tomorrow.
That's okay. Oh, I'm sorry, okay. It was the next thing on here.
Crystal, I'm trying to get us out of here as quick as we can, but let's not skip over.
I wanna make sure that we're dotting our i's there, cause I've heard so many conflicting things about that, so fine,
Yeah.
I'll wait on that, all good.
So, anyway, so we, just in a high-level summary about our bills this month, we will disperse roughly $363,000. However, of that, $287,500 were for both principal and interest of our water bonds. And so we do have 2 water bonds, and just as an FYI, we will see interest payments coming in the spring. So we have to pay the interest twice a year, principal once a year. So I'd like to make a motion to pay for our current expenditures as so listed and the board of trust and the trustees have reviewed.
Second.
Any other questions, conversations, discussions?
I would like to note that in reviewing the bills myself, with the beautiful form that Kim has created on top of each of those is very, very helpful. Thank you.
It's very, very thankful, but you need bigger glasses.
I was gonna say, can we maybe increase the font size a
Well, I
little
think
bit?
I'm gonna drop some columns, so Jim, I think I can drop some columns and make it a little bigger, because you're right, I'm not.
I asked Martin if she had a magnifying glass with her, so I could look at a couple of them.
I just got my phone.
So, all right, roll call vote, or do we need a roll call?
Yep.
Yes, all right, start with Peters, A. Peters,
Yes.
K. Peters.
Yes.
Sperling,
Yes.
Starkey,
Yes.
and Hauser, yes, thank you. The next item on the agenda are financial reports. I've included, there are some up there if you're interested in looking at just a bunch of numbers. I am working toward some charts it's in the future, but what we did do, this particular month, I'm trying to lay out, looking at our financial picture for the past fiscal year, and I will refer to that as FY '25, and we are now in FY '26. So, and I have my own notes here, and I don't know if I'm going through that. But anyway, in that particular report, I tried to lay out and show what our general revenue, our revenues and expenses for the year, for each quote unquote kind of grouping or fund that we have identified. I did make some notes on this particular report identifying that the general fund, while it was in the negative, fairly good. The big thing was that fund is where we pay everybody from. So that's everybody's payroll. Fire, township, everybody is paid, that gets paid as a staff or volunteer firefighter, as an official, comes from that one source. So that is why that's off. But we actually came down, and this is a pre-audit, because it may change some after the audit, of a revenue of $1,548,400 and expense of $1,646,000. We netted a net loss of $97,900 for the fiscal year, which I think was very close to what we had talked about in August. So I think I was really pleased to see that.
I thought fire pay comes out of fire. I mean, I know it comes out of general fund initially, but then usually it's.
We have, that was not done this year, and because it sits, kind of one of those QuickBooks things, because it sits between 2 different QuickBooks files, companies, it's not an easy transfer back and forth. We can do it at the bank really well, really quickly,
It's a
but
software. part.
yeah, it's a software issue.
Because I thought that was like, right, Roger, am I wrong? Like, I think we started that a while back,
Okay,
last term, that, even if it was initially paid from general fund, then you
yeah, and
transfer
it's
that.
kind of, if we look at the thing in total, with the way, the township operates, it really is a wash in many ways. Really is. And, and one of the things, if you just note on this, on the report, this year we did not collect any money for the lake weed assessment. And we did, and last October, I believe it was, in October 24, there was an expense incurred for mowing, and then there was nothing. And so if you look at that and factor that out, we'd only be running about a 17, 18K loss for the year. So that's not, for something that we collected no revenue on, because that all would have been revenue collected in December for the winter tax.
I just remember us having discussions in the previous board about having these funds be independently run, so the cemetery generates its own funds and it pays for itself, and the fire, that's why we raise the millage for the
Well,
fire and all of those being.
Crystal, if you look, the net fire underspent by 66,000, so if we were to back the salaries, payrolls
Yeah,
that we paid out of general and move them out of fire, that number would come down. So that's covering. That's what Kim was saying.
Yeah, I understand, I just
Yeah.
thought it was all gonna be,
it would be nice, I think, if we could do that and just figure out how to do it simply and cleanly. And the same with cemetery and Swan Hall as well, is
First
back charge
yeah.
employee expense. And there are several inter-fund transfers, like, Parks and Recs receives money from general fund. Cemetery has received money from general fund, so. Okay, so that was my financial report, more to come as we get going. And so now, we can talk about the payment of bills. In our GAA, do we need to accept the financial report or anything?
No.
Okay, we'll just keep rolling then. So so about payment bills. And so I guess we need to make a motion to approve this operations manual, particular first policy for 2026. So I'd like to move that. Do I have a second? Is there a second?
Are we skipping over the payment of the reoccurring bills?
That is, yeah, that is.
The operations manual is part of the reoccurring bills?
Yeah, it's the procedure policy that goes in the operations manual. It lays out how. So that's on your packet. That would be page 11.
Well, yep, got it.
I second.
Got it.
Okay, thanks, Kathy.
Now, questions and comments?
Yeah, questions.
I've heard very differing perspectives on this, and I just wanna make sure that we're doing things legally. Because initially, we made this change when we were on the last board to pay these without having to wait for board approval to avoid things like late fees, et cetera, especially if they're recurring bills. You have listed here, consumer, Spectrum, Republic, PC3, insurance, et cetera. All fine. And then, I don't remember who or when, we were told that that was not best practice, we should not do that. In fact, I think it was Cindy Dodd who said it, but don't quote me, I could be very wrong. Some kind of training that we attended said we should not be doing that. And so here we are again, revisiting the same topic. I'm all for it and it makes sense to me to do it. I just want to make sure that we're.
Yeah, and we also have, the policy that is stated, the very top is verbatim from our GAA, which we approved and motioned, and it was motioned and approved. I just kind of wanted to, again, codify that motion and how we were going to.
Could we check?
Occupy it.
To make
No.
certain whether that's with Kyle or
Just to-
Cindy or someone.
Well, we
to
can-
make
we can-
sure that
We can do that, and then we've got our audit coming up.
Yeah, we
Work
can,
with the auditor.
I just want to be sure that this is allowed because I felt like we had our hands slapped last term for doing that. Even though I think it makes sense to do it.
so we could table this until
uh,
No,
after the audit.
I would ask, I will vote in favor, I would just ask that we double check with, I'm not sure who.
The auditor.
Kyle?
No, it'd be the auditor.
Okay, could we just say approval pending, like we can approve it as the board pending people that know more than we do, make sure that they tell us that that's illegal.
I'm fine with that. But I just, like I said, this is why I brought it up, is I just wanted to get it,
It makes sense to do it.
yeah, it
I
makes
agree.
sense, and.
Again, I feel like we had our hands stuck a couple years back about the same exact issue, so I would just want us to make sure that we're.
So you suggesting you'd like maybe to table it until we get back? Or you want to-
Is there a way to say we are fine with this as long as it's legal?
I would
I
rather
don't
just
really know if legal
table
is
it,
the
I
right
think we
word.
should just table it and bring it, and we'll clean it up and then.
I don't
then-
mean to cause that, I just,
No, I think it's a very valid concern, you're correct, there has
I
been
voted in favor
discussion
for
in the
before,
past.
and then I felt a little
Right.
ignorant that I had voted in favor for it.
And could it be something if Cindy Dodge is scheduled to come in sooner rather than later, be right by her?
We could ask her about it, yes. So what I'll do is,
I'd be interested to know what she said, I'm just curious.
so I'll just put on here that we will revisit after discussion with others,
I think it makes sense,
resources,
just want to be sure.
there we go, thank you.
Officials, authorities.
Anything else from the clerk's review?
I got one thing to the clerk. We talked about it last night, but we had this, looked at it, just these had check numbers, so I said, when we do the check, when we do the bills already,
Yes.
when this checks go in there, we get a copy
Yes.
to our records. You know, every one of these checks there, we looked at last night, not made yet, they're probably made today or tomorrow. Okay?
Yeah,
And we'll get one of these that have all the numbers in there. The one-
I was assuming that we would get that next month, that what I
Well,
approved today
once-
without the check.
Once she does it
numbers is the
tomorrow,
pre-audit,
it's gonna have the
and
check
then
in there,
next month we
just
do
print
the
it.
post-audit.
you know.
I understand, but I'm thinking,
Yeah.
what I looked at with check numbers was the post audit from last month. And then the ones without the check numbers.
So they're going out tomorrow.
No water, we're okay. Actually, I am kind of rethinking some of this process, just to kind of moving it along faster, and I've actually, Lydia and I had a discussion about how she used to do it, where she would print a check and the number would already be on it and be on the list, and we could go back to something like that, and then it would be a one and done type of deal.
That's what we've always done, but I was
And we
willing to
can
be
do that,
flexible and do it if that's what works for you.
but I was just trying to see if.
So we can trace the checks, that's all.
Yeah, and then, but what I'll probably do is have Kathy hand it off to her, have her do like a review, just to make math is correct, vendor names are correct, things like that, so that when they're printed, the only thing about this is it does allow us to not have voided checks, physically voided checks, and I've already voided things in QuickBooks because we get double bills, and we had to, it's like wasting the money. But anyway, thank you, yes, very valid, thank you, Jim.
Anything else for the clerk? All right, let's move on. Item 12, Board of Review report. Board of Review met in July, and we reviewed one poverty exemption and accepted that. So Board of Review is moving along quite well. Mr. Fire Chief, about a quick run report, and then you
Yes, I
want
do. I
to
got
talk
one.
about some doors.
We had 33 calls for July.
What, can you speak louder? Thank you.
I can speak louder. We had 33 calls for July. We had 14 medical calls, 3 lift assists, 4 investigations, a tree down. We had a tree with wires. We had 2 wires down, brush fire, 3 PIs, 2 gas leaks, 1 false call, and 1 mutual aid. That's what we had. The doors are in, which you see. We're not gonna put the big, no parking signs. We're gonna get a big stickers or something to put on the doors so it makes it look nice. So that's what we're looking at.
I just said it looked really nice, Roger.
You did.
did.
Who's the 3 banditos in the picture?
Installers.
Those are the installers.
That's the installer, took your own picture?
Yeah.
Oh, come on, what can you do?
I was at work. I know where I was at. I did talk to, Scott from, CSI. The truck has got the bumper on, the top on, it's got the, winch in the front. They're working on the lights right now, and we're gonna put the yellow stripe on the side. So,
Roger, could he get us a picture of it?
gonna get you one.
That'll be next month's package then.
We can take the white one down and put up the yellow,
Yeah,
right?
that's all I have.
Thanks, Rob.
I just have a quick question. The doors look awesome.
Yeah,
Well
we
done.
do, yep.
Yep.
We do have a little bit of issue, but I gotta get with, Art about that. It's not the doors. I thought some other issues that I mean, happy to look at.
Well, the question I was gonna ask you was the cement that's breaking up where the
It's been
trucks.
fixed.
Repaired.
Oh, the one out front?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, not the
I did talk
it's not
to,
better.
Oh.
Kim Walters.
Yeah.
The approach, he says the best thing to do is dig it out and put concrete into it and do that. But the asphalt on the other side, you know, we talked about when we did this, we were gonna replace it because they were driving onto it and all that stuff. But we never
To
got a
pay
chance.
that.
Yeah, they only did the approach and they did the township office at the same time.
Was that a year or two ago?
When we had the addition put on, we were there, that whole part that's asphalt that was supposed to be paid, but we ran out of money, right? So then it's something to think about, but also where the fire trucks go in and out of, that's cracked and deteriorating pretty quickly, so that's something that we need to, this might be something, no, not there, that has to be, that's commercial grade, right? Because that's the weight of those trucks on there, that's not just regular.
What, the concrete or the truck? The asphalt?
No, I'm talking about the cement,
Concrete,
the
yeah,
concrete.
that's almost 8 inches thick.
Right, that's right, so
Okay.
that's what's in the air there.
Okay.
I think it's something for us to think about,
Mhm.
especially we have the Metro Act dollars.
Yeah.
And that asphalt, because what folks park there when they go to Granson Park,
Right.
that's public, right, that's because that Metro money can be only used for very small things, so I think we need to really think
Yeah,
about.
what we were doing at the time, we were talking about extending that over to the guy's fence a little bit. So it makes it a little bit the parking lot bigger.
Yeah,
We talked about that before, but. not
so you
as far
weren't
as-
parking on top of each other.
Yeah.
Something to think about, I think. Maybe we could have, just to investigate,
Mhm.
let's just start the process.
Sure.
And then I forgot to mention too that Roger had it on
What's that?
the quote for extinguishers. And
Yes.
I called the company and the quote was still good and we're moving,
Okay,
good, so we're gonna be moving forward to get new extinguishers.
they're gonna, yeah, there's a lot of, there's some that need to be
I'm sorry.
replaced and redone.
And servicing.
Okay. Roger, thank you very much, sir. And again, those doors look nice. I think they're sealed up a lot
Oh,
nicer too.
I'm waiting to find out this winter so what's gonna be.
Yeah.
Kim, I think you got a museum report?
Yes, I do. I was gonna pull it up here real quick and let you guys know that, Catherine has let me know, Catherine Sayers has let me know that, there has been some visitors at the Township, Museum this summer. And she said have had quite a few new guests and that the museum is open this season from 1 to 4 on Saturday afternoons, and it's staffed by Catherine and Bob Johnson. So if you have a chance, go visit the museum. Catherine, both of them know so much about the history of Eatonville.
Yes.
It's a fascinating, it's very fascinating, so.
Great. You had a busy month, sir.
Yeah. I sent the monthly report, I just wanted to make a comment. Biggest item on there was Dan Berthium's property. He did enter a plea before the magistrate to 9 civil infractions I had written. and, was assessed $100 on each citation. He was facing 500 per citation, but I explained to the court I'm not in the habit of writing a bunch of citations to people, that he's been really recalcitrant about his behavior, and there were actually like two citations 2 weeks apart, so these things escalated and his behavior didn't change. But there are some oversight issues that, as far as cleaning up the property, that need to be done. And we're working with, most of this discussion is attorney-client privilege, but we're trying to work out a strategy on how we're gonna deal with the stuff that's there. And so I can't really get into that because it's internal discussions with the attorney. The hearing was scheduled for the 18th before Judge Carpenter. It's been adjourned to the 25th. And the township will be represented by the township attorney. Something came up recently, a point of clarification, but I think you're in the process of working a resolution. He's never been a cleanup costs last year weren't put on his taxes.
Yeah, they will be filed.
And I didn't get your last name, Tracy.
Coates, C-O-A-T-E-S.
She mentioned there, when I was looking into the complaint against her,
What was the exact complaint? Could you tell me what that was?
well, she explained it pretty well. It was that the
I like to hear from you.
the vegetation planning forward of the house, between the house and the lake, was not correct. And that a storage building was not in compliance with the 10-foot setback. I looked at the vegetation planning. It has the potential of being a violation if it isn't maintained, but right now it seems to be in compliance. It's below 4 feet, and she's allowed a like a wrought iron style fencing between the trees. So the view shed isn't interrupted. I think it's an unfounded complaint. But
So
she
the
did point out.
So the vegetation isn't the issue. What was?
Well, I was more concerned that the vegetation was going to become an issue. The ordinance is, I've run into this before on a previous complaint, and the ordinance, if it could use some clarification when it comes to hedgerow plantings. It's not defined in the ordinance is exactly how the ordinance affects that type of privacy.
But we've left several feet in between each tree.
But,
Do you happen to know which ordinance that is?
the zoning ordinance.
I know, but which one that you're referring to?
You're not gonna get crazy and wild.
Yeah, ballpark, page number, just save me some time. It's okay, I'll find it.
Well, it's fencing. I think it's in the special provisions area where it talks
Okay,
about
I'll find
miscellaneous
it.
stuff.
I'll find it. No problem. Thank you.
If you backtrack to a dictionary definition, dictionaries define offenses, including hedgerows. Our ordinance does not say anything about it. My usually enforcement posture is if it's not clear, how can we enforce it?
Sometimes ambiguity is purposeful.
But Tracy did bring up some bottom land disturbance that she's observed. I observed two myself. I kind of consider that a point between Four Lakes and the landowners. But it is occurring. People are taking equipment down there, and they're not just removing vegetation, they're actually clearing the vegetation off. Under state law, if that were a lake, and it's probably a gray area right now, that's a dredge. And required to have a permit. But it is occurring, so I just thought I'd bring it up to the board. It's probably the two I've seen, and the one she pointed out, there's probably more going on. Especially now that people are thinking the lake's gonna get filled. They're catching up on doing some work, and there's probably a number of unpermitted seawalls. It's a matter between the landowner and Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. I'm not sure if the board wants to weigh in on that problem. But just thought I'd let you know it's happening, and with the announcement that the lakes are gonna fill, people are probably thinking, oh, I better get the seawall fixed. And I did have a chance to sit down with Kathy, and I need to spend more time there, but she's been trying to get our Z-Club files in order, and
Yes.
more and more I need to look at those. And I'm not always getting, Jim, I'm not always getting good answers from the Code Authority either. They always tell me, all those records out in Homer Township being stored while the building.
Everything is out there right now,
Yeah.
until they get the new
So
one.
the only thing I can rely on, whether somebody has a permit or not, is Z-Club records. So I'm gonna go in and spend a little more time perusing through those, but she's got them all in one place now.
Yes.
And you're developing a log too, I think, which is part of the big thing.
Yes, that we can search. Search by name.
That's all I have,
address.
Art.
Yes.
Greg, I just want to thank you. I attended the magistrate's hearing that we attended, and I would say that the county judicial system is backing the township for keeping blight, this particular piece of blight, under control. And I would say the court was understanding but not terribly sympathetic for this being
That's
a
good
recurring
observation, yeah.
kind of thing. And I think that we're probably going to find ourselves with some enforceable actions to help move this situation along and clean it up, but also keep it clean and do it in a self-funding way, so it's not on the backs of all the residents. So I'm hopeful we'll see that. I just want to commend you. You've done a great job
Yes,
doing
thank
that.
you.
Thank you.
I agree, thanks Greg, but I do have another question. So what happens if there is at least one, if not several, complaints made to you and you find that no one is in violation? At what point do you tell the person who's making the complaints that this is unfounded and please stop wasting my time?
I've said that before, but they have the right to make the complaint as far as.
They
I'm
do, but once
concerned.
it's investigated, at what point do you, like, I'm concerned about this resident here, I would feel under attack, I would feel harassed, I would be upset, I'd be worried, I'd be all kinds of things. So like, at what point with these things repeatedly occur, do we say, we're done here? When does that happen? Do we have a rule about that? Do
No.
we need to make one?
I would, yeah, I'd have to get some guidance from you. I did have a landowner on Maplehurst that I wrote some civil infractions on. And he decided that he was gonna report all the neighbors, and I think that totaled more than 20 complaints. At least half of which were unfounded. I did send him a letter that he was wasting
Township tax
dollars.
All of our taxes, yeah.
And that he needs to make sure they're valid complaints. I mean, he just did a neighborhood drive-through and assumed things were violations that weren't. So I have tried to do that, but I could use some guidance if you prefer it to be done personally.
Maybe something that we think about,
Okay.
to say, if he receives 1, 2, how many does person X get before they receive a letter to say, cease and desist, we don't care to hear about this anymore? Are we playing baseball? 3 strikes sound good to everyone?
Or even the cost of what we're paying for our
Or
officer
enforcement to go
to
investigate.
investigate. I mean, is there anything we can do with those things we're paying for unnecessary investigations?
I think this is the third time he's been to my home.
I'm all for baseball, 3 strikes and you're out.
If I wanna check the
Write
record,
letter.
if I could, I just wanna make
One
one
second.
statement. Hang on, we're-
Okay. I got a question for Greg. You mentioned the Fox property, that there was a temporary shed that hurt, okay? And she said 8 foot, and it is 10 foot.
It's under 20,
It's supposed to be 10 foot for sidewalk,
but it's a temporary structure.
okay.
With
Size
shower
temporary.
permit.
And I need to talk with Tim about that.
Where do we get temporary out in a shed? I've never heard temporary, and
It's not fixed, there's no
It's on
foundation.
skids, yeah.
It's on skids.
You can pick it up and move it.
Yep.
can't be moved.
And Tracy did do her due diligence and contacted me and we looked at this
Oh,
situation,
temporary.
so.
It's gotta be moved to proper dimension.
It can be.
It can be moved at any
Okay,
time.
that's what that's one, because he wants to 10, 18, go in, oh, I know it's 10. Okay. But when you're going back to the continuous complaints, we need to sit down and why are we getting a continuous complaint? If it's strictly on growth, and I don't think we have anything in ordinances for growth.
Well, we have many revisions we have to make to our ordinances. This is gonna be one of them to help him out, but I do think in the short term, being harassed by someone
No,
repeatedly,
that's improper.
I agree. Especially if we're talking about vegetation that maybe in 10 years, if it's not maintained, might be a violation.
And the frost doesn't get it.
If they live,
More
Right.
likely, I told Tracy today, more likely the deer.
the deer will probably get it before I ever
There
chance
are
to
We
go.
have a
Maybe
full
let
buffet
this-
now.
Maybe let this man speak.
Yes.
Yeah, my name's Don Simpson. I currently reside with Tracy at this address and we'll be married in November. But the only point I'm trying to.
Congratulations.
Thank you very much. Tracy used to be married. Her husband was personal friend of our complainant. And if you check the records, you've never had a complaint up till the time of the divorce. And then you've had an influx of complaints. So you have a person using the long arm of government to enforce their personal vendetta against this woman in regards to her ex-husband. So I think it's all foolishness, everything from her 2-pound dog walking onto the neighbor's property that is vacant because the landowner doesn't live there, but Mr. Gaskell maintains that property. On that property is an open well full of water that a kid can fall in and drown. Nobody enforces that. That's a hazard. Geez, I can't even believe that still exists, but there it is. No permits when he does a seawall, no permits when he digs the river basin, no permits when he digs it up and makes it nice and
Thank you.
sandy. But
Thank you.
okay, but it just amazes me that before the
Order.
divorce, there were
Order.
no issues. That's all I wanted to know. That,
And,
that's.
I would say, Crystal, I have a couple of other frequent flyers.
I bet.
And so
Maybe there's something we could do to help.
I wanted to consult with Greg. Maybe we'll come back with some work for the board. And that might be an assignment for September. Greg, you might have a few minutes. We could talk about that sometime.
Baseball is America's favorite pastime.
Okay.
I gotta come in and play with Deepak Styles.
Yeah.
That's great. We don't want, and I think I made a pretty vocal statement. I don't want to use the government to persecute anybody, because that's just wrong.
What's going on out here?
Thank
So,
you, Art.
Parks and Rec, Mary Beth, I want to tell you, you've been one busy person.
I have it. Okay, so we did have a farmer's market and, a couple weeks ago. And despite the fact that I gave Kimberly very little notice, she did a great job. Kimberly Gaskell did a great job of organizing. We had it on a Friday night, which was a little odd for a farmer's market, but I actually think it was really nice. Kimberly and I talked about doing it annually. We're not gonna do it once a month all summer long. I mean, that's just too much. But I think once a year would be nice to do it, continue to do it. We did it once last year, or twice last year. Once in the summer, that was good. And then once in the fall, that wasn't so well attended. So we'll do it in the summer. And then the other thing, the big thing that happened was a couple months ago, you guys approved us to work with an appraiser to appraise the Vanderbush property. The appraisal came in and Art and I uploaded it to the DNR. The DNR might take up to 60 days to review it, even though we worked with a DNR approved appraiser. But they still get their 60 days. And then the next thing to do is actually do the land purchase. So we also woke up the lawyers. You guys may or may not recall that as a part of the grant application, we had to put a draft purchase agreement and life lease agreement. We already had to put that together. So that we have a good rough draft that both I looked over and Mr. Vanderbush and I think his son looked over. So I think we're, it's not like we're starting from scratch. That's my report, unless Art, there was more that you thought.
No, I just want to thank you. You've been diligent, if nothing else, and persistent, so thank you.
I have. You're welcome.
I didn't mind, you think we're really lucky, we're leaving for vacation, so we gotta go, I don't like to leave in the middle of the meeting, so.
Oh, you're welcome.
Okay.
Have a good vacation.
Yeah, have fun.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Planning Commission, Crystal.
Our next meeting is August 25th. And then we have a master plans, focus group plan for September 4th. So we would welcome as much input from the public on September 4th as well, always, anytime, but specifically on September 4th, because this is when we're going to talk about our master plan, which will be Edenville's master plan for the foreseeable future. And we have, Dan Allen has worked really hard to put a good plan in place for how we'll conduct that and gather input and gather common voices, as it were. And so we're really hoping that as many folks as possible could attend September 4th. We have it scheduled for 6 to 9, but I'm hoping we don't go as late as 9. But it would be a great problem to have. That would mean that we have that many people vested. So September 4th.
And if you're interested, there's some flyers.
Put it on their calendar. Yes.
So do we have to RSVP? I'm a little unclear.
Only because like, if we were to have like 50 people, we would have to move to there and kind of rethink how we would do. We're kind of anticipating under 20 people, just by way of numbers, statistically speaking.
Yeah.
If we got 10 to 20 people, that would be a great turnout. If we had more than that, we would move to the larger room instead of do here, but that's the only reason. So if you think you come, drop him a line, or Dan Allen, he's got his email there, I think, so.
Is Edenville PC chair?
Yep, Edenville Planning Commission Chair, right, PC Chair. Mhm. That's
Not
his,
police commission.
you know,
Fine.
or me, whichever, doesn't matter, just so we have an idea, but, or just come, and that's okay too.
Okay.
Tim,
Yes, sir.
anything from the benefit of the zoning administrator?
As far as I know, it's going pretty smooth, right, Ken?
Yes.
Okay, good.
Yes, I have to congratulate you. What an improvement. You are so responsive
Yeah,
to
that
our
other
residents.
bozo that was doing it before, he was all over the map.
There wasn't one. But I have to say, what a great improvement for the office and how quick you get those back to me.
I like to do it so I don't
Thank
forget.
you so much. They appreciate
Yeah,
it very much.
We had one on Lake Sanford Road that was not in compliance, and they're working around that.
Oh, they are, okay.
Yes.
Just let me know.
Yep.
Yep. Good job. Sorry, I interrupted you too.
No, you're good, thank you.
Zoning Board of Appeals, Jim?
Actually, no report at this moment until we get full
Okay.
board. And it was a month just give code authority.
Okay.
On the left.
Yep.
Code authority, our meeting is at the end of the month. And we're trying to get the new system up and running. I told everybody who has a laptop, bring it. Because the tech who serves on our board, it's gonna walk everybody through how to do a permit. I went on and tried one, I couldn't do the sucker either, I'm not gonna kid you. It wouldn't let me go to step 3, I got, what I wanna do, a pole barn, I give the address, the ID number of my property, and I get the 2 different things and it locked me out, so I never learned too. And, but it's a and building is very strong throughout the county. I mean, we are 30-some% ahead of last year in building throughout the county. Yeah, throughout the county. And of course, we have a new home going up on, and 30, it's gonna be a big home. Yeah. Yeah, but it's growing, it's growing rapidly, you know.
Super.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yep.
I would say, old business, we've got one final update for our phone system. We, installed some new phones today. I'm going to say, I got thumbs up from
Yes.
2 of the users over there. It's kind of an ADA kind of help for us. It has Bluetooth capabilities, so those that need headsets and or hearing aid devices, this will plug directly into it. And they were able to swap out what they did. So it's a good thing.
Very nice.
They were very helpful, and I would just give Spectrum high marks as a vendor for us. They seem to be doing.
We're saving $1 a month.
And we save $1 a month. Thank you, Crystal.
Yeah.
With that, Crystal, any update for grants or?
And you know, from now on, I think you could probably put Starkey Hauser there. I'll be the last time, this will probably be the last time I'll do it alone, but, the Midland Area Community Foundation told us they depleted their funds and asked us to reapply in December, which we will do. Have not heard anything from the grants we published previously, and Kim and I are actively beginning our work with the first responder grants.
Yay.
And so we don't have a lot to report yet because we're just starting that process, but I think from now on, that should be a slash because we've agreed to work together on that primarily, right?
Yeah, and the PAR grant that we received earlier,
For the lighting.
applied for and received, I think in May, we're gonna, I'm in contact with the electrical company this next week, I hope, to get them out and go over what their bid included and where the lights would go. So that is just something that move forward with, we have to spend the money, but we send it into PAR and then they reimburse us for it. And that has to all be done by the 16th of November. There's also another funding cycle for them that ends the 15th of September. And we're looking at potentially maybe some camera systems for here and the hall office, Township Hall.
Be nice if they
Wonderful.
did that. Super and great update, guys. We love the grants. 21 new business. Our board from the previous term paid off one of the three bonds that we use to finance the municipal water here in the township. When that happened, the benefit fee structure that residents pay to connect to the system expired with the bond paying off. We need to now have an established fee for folks that pay into the system that come in after the bond has been paid off. In doing a lot of consultation and looking at what other folks have done and what looks to be appropriate, we have a resolution 2521 attached in this packet, whereby really for that section of M30 that is covered by that part of the water system, that we would be setting a fixed price benefit fee of $12,000 for that. And the philosophy behind setting that fee was we wanted something a little bit above what the initial buy-in was, because the folks that made the initial buy-in stepped up to the plate and got an, if you will, an early adopter price. And I would be remiss if we didn't thank Sharon and her
Right.
colleagues,
Thank you.
Jim,
No,
for
I
being on
didn't
the
get
board
to
at that
finish
time.
it, but.
Well, anyhow, you guys started all that off. This basically is got more legalese than I would like, but it's following the format established by our township attorney. We just needed to set this fee. It is $12,000. We look for the fee to be paid prior to authorizing the water district to issue permits or go forward with that, and that's collected upfront all at one time. And again, that's actually how some of the other townships are handling it from the get-go. So with that, I am going to make that motion, introduce that we adopt that resolution, and I would entertain a second.
I'll second.
Now that I've done twisting my tongue in knots talking about it, any questions?
Yes,
Sir?
I've an understanding, the M30 was a locked-in, we had so many RIUs. And there were 9 left of the old golf course, and now there's a new one going in there. This money is gonna come to the township.
Yes, sir.
We cannot use it on anything else but M30.
Actually, it goes into our overall
Because that's the
water.
way it was designed.
It actually goes in, my understanding in looking through it is that money gets paid in and goes into our water fund for the paying off of all outstanding bonds that are left, any fees that are covered. The maintenance of the system is taken over by Water District
Yes, I
1.
understand that. Yep. If we set this up into a special fund, Because if something ever happens to 130, we'll be, probably have to kick in some of that. I know they're gonna pick up the whole thing, or they're just gonna,
Historically, and that's how,
yeah, I know.
and that's what we have talked about at the Water District Board. The Water District One feels they have ownership of maintenance of the
Yes, they have
system.
ownership of the system. Once we turn it over.
But no, I mean stewardship of financing it as well. And that's one of the conversations that the Water District Board is going through right now. Edenville is still young enough as a system that it's not a problem, but other parts of the system, all the water meters need to be replaced out because they have to be swapped out every 30 years.
Because I know that last time we talked about M30, many years ago, when we set that up. And we got the golf course to take on 9 RAUs because we needed so many to make it fundraiser. Okay, and it worked. We couldn't use that money for any other purpose but the development of the M30 system. And now that it's paid off, we need to clarify whether we can take that 12,000 and put it into our water fund. I think we need it real good.
I'll circulate
Because I
that
think
with
we
the
talked
attorney.
about that one time on the board, Sharon, that money was strictly to be used for M30. Now that they have paid it off, we paid off the bond, using the money that was collected. By the residents. And I'm not objecting to that 12,000 figure, but I wanna make sure we put it in the right place. That's all.
My understanding is that it goes into the I forget. the
Water
name.
improvement.
Water
fund.
improvement
The water
fund
improvement
for using
fund.
to retire all of the bonds,
It's gonna go into that, a special fund for retirement.
Right,
fund.
there's
of the
already.
bonds only.
Okay, okay.
Mhm.
Then yeah, no problem with that part of it.
I found,
Can't use it for anything else but to pay off the next bond. Okay,
And that was, again, that predates even my arrival in the state of Michigan. Sorry. But my understanding was that they set that up so that they knew that we would sell so many units, connections after the initial offer, if you will, and that those would go into and fund the retirement of the overall
and then
bond.
the money we borrowed against that fund was the RAUs that we were allocated. Yeah, that's how it went. Yep, okay, I understand. All that goes into the fund is developing and paying off the next bonds. We have several bonds.
I got two more.
Yes, I know. We just paid $200,000. $87,000 this month.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm good.
Kim, page 17B, authorizing is misspelled. There's a period after the colon, after where it says supported by board member.
Yeah.
And it's just minor,
No.
just ignore me. On page 18, you got 8th day of April 2025.
I'm sorry.
Page 18, it says 8th day of April 2025.
Oh, did I miss one?
And then, right, and on page 17, authorizing, you want to take that U out of there in the period after. the
Yep,
colon.
we're good.
Okay, there you go, done. Thank you. I see. Yep.
Okay. Any more discussions, comments, editorial? Okay. Ms. Clerk, can we have a roll call, please?
All right. Hauser, yes. A. Peters,
Yes.
K. Peters, yes. Starkey,
Yes.
Sterling,
Yes.
Thank you very much. Appointment of ZBA representatives. I know we're down a couple. Jim has done an outstanding job of wrestling up candidates. He vetted them. I had a chance to talk to them. Everyone seems to be very interested in helping out. So Jim, you want to?
Well, Dennis and David are both here. They both have paperwork in the office. And I think they do a fine job. So I would nominate both of them to the ZBA board. And glad to have them.
Thank you, Jim.
Thank you.
And I would second that. Thank you, James.
Thank you.
And we can do this by affirmation. Those in favor of appointing them to the ZBA signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Congratulations.
Thank you to the board.
Welcome.
And we have staggered terms. And so I forget how we'll assign it, but you'll be given an expiration date of your term. You'll be filling a current vacancy. So thank you all very much.
Let me take that, go get sworn in. And let me know when you're sworn in, and I'll get a meeting established, so we can all get the members together.
All right.
We still need an alternate, we've got somebody in mind to be an alternate. But Art and myself know, so we don't have an alternate at this point. Used to be Mr. Yarmark, but he is only here 6 months out of the year thereabouts, and so he said, I want to be alternate anymore.
Okay.
Thank you.
And guys, will please stay muted if you've called in. We have item 21C, coffee with the council this coming Saturday morning. Here in Swanton Hall, we'll be reviewing the reestablishment of the Edenville Waterway Maintenance Special Assessment District. I believe that's the title that's given to us. We have that. I opened the meeting up with an apology to those that live up in Edenville, but on Wixom Lake. You will be removed from the role, and we'll take care of that during that hearing. So again, my apologies for that, but hopefully we'll get in and out of there fairly quickly on that. And we will be broadcasting over Zoom. You can watch from home. 21D, printer replacement. The printer in the office is beyond end of life. They stopped making it, I think, 5 years ago, and we've been on extended life support. The drawer there is broken, and they can no longer even find replacement parts, even on the secondary market. Now, a repair guy who's gotten to know our treasurer very well, they're on first name basis and speed dials, said he could kind of epoxy it together maybe, and that might hold for a while. I used the printer to print out all of the SAD hearing notices, and so that was quite an exercise. It would run about 10, 11 copies jammed, and it was a fun way to spend a weekend. I want to thank, again, Kathy, you dealing with this guy. He kind of said, hey, at some point, we're going to stop even servicing this thing. And so we could be in a world of hurt there. You secured 2 great quotes. We qualify for Michigan state government special pricing through this particular vendor. So we're getting a low cost bid. They have a monthly service contract. The service contract actually is about what we're paying now in a monthly service contract. The difference would be we pick up somewhere on the order, I believe it's $220 a month for a 60-month contract. I would propose leasing this. That way, if there's a problem with it or anything, we tell them they have to come and fix it. We would own it at the end of the lease on that, which is how we've done all of our previous all-in-one printer purchases. We have 2 quotes, one for black and white, one for color. The color actually is only $20 a month more, and I'm going to suggest we go with that. That makes duplicating a lot of our materials easier to understand, especially some of the financials and whatnot. So with that, I'm introducing a motion to go ahead and accept the quote and bid for that and get them in there. I would love a second and then some conversation.
I'll second.
Thank you.
Art, you said that we had always leased and bought at the end of the lease.
Actually, no, we own it at the residuals,
Or we own it at the end of the lease. How long does the lease usually?
60 months, 5 years.
And it's better to lease instead of buy outright.
I believe so. I mean, it's not like you're saving a whole lot, you don't save a whole lot of money. And if you get a lemon, you can say, hey, come by. And they're a little more motivated to fix it, make you happy.
Sure. For leasing.
That's, and these guys have been really good to us.
I've worked with that printer on a much more limited basis than you all have, so I can understand.
No, thanks. Those are great questions. I appreciate you asking with that. So any other questions, comments, concerns? Then I would ask for a roll call vote, please.
All right, Kate Peters,
Yes.
Jim Sperling,
Yes.
Dave Peters,
Yes.
Starkey,
Yes.
Bowser, yes.
Woo-hoo! Thank you, guys. I am really tired of tearing that thing apart and doing it, so much appreciated. One final thing, before we jump into a quick closed session. BC3 is our technology vendor. They do a lot of our user ID provisioning today. For whatever reason, the township has done the BSNA provisioning, and that's done by the treasurer usually. I am suggesting that we move all of that and let BC3 handle that as well. They're very familiar with provisioning users. That means assigning user IDs and whatnot. It's a record, passwords and resetting things. As someone who spent their career in technology, I would tell you that's a recognized best practice. Again, I believe your husband's also got a little history in that field and would agree with that. With that, it's really no cost to us to do it, but there is a form we have to sign. BSNA and VC3 were both founded by brothers, so they both know each other and work with each other quite well. This would be a straightforward thing. So I would make a motion to go forward with that, and then a second. You will?
Yep.
Thank you. And any other questions or comments? If not, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. We did it. Thank you all very much. Okay, yeah, we can do that. We have some sweetness here on that. And it was donated and generated by berries that came off of the Swanton property, I believe. And can we call this purely organic?
Absolutely.
With nothing but the best sugar enclosed in it.
No corn.
Michigan made.
Michigan made.
Blackberry, yeah.
Off which
Michigan,
part of
right?
the township property?
Hmm?
Which part of the township property?
Right in front of the
Swanton
Swanton Hall.
Hall.
Okay,
It was growing in a bush,
okay.
It was kind of an overgrown bush,
Yeah.
so to speak.
which we hope won't be there forever. But that's
And I would just tell you that it was a sticky bush, because I had that.
And blackberries.
We gave our blood.
Sharon drew blood when she picked, so I would comment on that. I thought we might want to have some fun with this and give these away. She's made them for us to distribute some sweetness throughout the township. I would propose we award it, one of the jars, to the resident who has been in Edenville the longest. And so
Who would that-
I'm going to start off and say, we moved here in 2011, so you guys all have me beat up pretty soon.
I was in 21.
21, okay, well,
1993.
93,
84.
84.
Oh, you haven't beat. Darn it.
That's when I was born. I've lived here my whole life.
88.
96.
83, but I got to lick the spoon.
Well, so
I believe you won it, sir, unless anyone wants to claim earlier than 83. Sold. Come get your,
Well, thank you.
And in the spirit of that, I thought it would only be fair that maybe we do the newest resident welcoming them to Edenville.
We don't live here, but we bought the property just last week.
Yeah.
That might constitute.
Well, you're a resident,
Last
so I think actually you guys won.
I'd like to introduce Chuck and Mary Folks. They bought the property right on Curtis, the riverfront property there. So welcome.
Across the bridge.
Yes.
Yeah.
Thank you all very much, and welcome to the community.
Thank you. Good back around the area.
Sharon, thank you so much.
Yes.
Okay, folks, we are gonna step into a closed session. We've got some personnel matters to discuss. I'm anticipating it taking us all of about 10 minutes, if that. Then we will reconvene in open session. We'll have to make a decision or two and then adjourn. So I would ask that you please step out into that. Yes,
You have to. You have to. No.
You guys go.
Always gotta get sworn in.
No, I think
You want me to do it?
Yeah.
You guys are all good.
Well, look at that, y'all. Lived here for quite a while, got me a jar of blackberry jam. It's pretty cool. I'll walk this out here to the car and go back in there in a little bit. For all y'all that stick around watching still here, I really appreciate it. All my subscribers. Page that's here watching. Guys, not just me. You know, bringing awareness, bringing this to you guys so you guys can see it. You know, I know everybody can't make it to these things, and I have the ability, I got the time to do it, so we really appreciate you guys. Thanks for sticking in here, Philip. I'm gonna spin this back around for a minute and grab me a smoke. I noticed they didn't bring it up in the meeting. Appears that there's a broken window up here. Says they are aware there's shattered replacement ordered. Cool. I'm not sure what happened to it. If it's vandalism, anybody has any information, let the township know. Turned out to be a pretty beautiful evening. We got the sun going down over there. Can't see it too well, kind of through the trees. We had some storms here in Midland County earlier. Had a couple tornado warnings in downtown Midland. Hope everybody in downtown at the Midland County Fair is all right. Hopefully everybody, nothing happened, and cool, man. Cool, Virginia. That's a long ways away. Thanks for watching. Sun shining on them trees. Turn out it's nice out here. It's been really hot up here last week or so. Last few weeks. It's probably in the lower 70s right now compared to the 80s and 90s we've been having. So. Sorry about that. I put something wrong. back through some of these chats. It's always old people trying to control what they don't understand or if it fits an agenda. Yeah, it's been happening a lot here, Philip. Yeah, humidity really sucked. For the last few days, it was saying 90 some degrees with the real feels like temperature around 100, over 100. It was horrible. Again, I want to give a big shout out to what in the This World Media, Pam Cam, sending over a bunch of subscribers today. I went over 500 subscribers real quick, and I'm trying to come up with something to do special for all you guys. If you guys got any suggestions, make sure you throw them down in the comments. I'll sing about like the hot chip challenge or something silly. I don't know. Yeah, I've heard a lot of crazy things about Ohio. I watched a few township meetings down there over the last couple of years. It was pretty wild, I guess. Most of this board came in at the last election just this past year. There was a lot that happened. We've had the township clerk. We had one, she resigned as of May 31st, I think it was. There's a lot about that in my past videos. I'm sure you guys seen the one that was shared out. Looks like we got a little rainbow over there. That's pretty cool. I'm still working on a video. I went to Lee Township, Midland, Michigan last night, and about the same thing that was happening here. The clerk just either doesn't understand her job or is refusing to do it. I cussed a couple times and she looked at the sheriff's deputies and was going to try to have me removed, and that did not work. They're essentially denying me FOIA requests, telling me that a list of all employees' first and last name does not exist. If they have to create it, they don't want to, because then they have to maintain it. I asked for all township employees pay their salary, and they said that doesn't exist. They would have to create it. So. And then I asked for a code enforcement report that they keep talking about in every meeting, and it's on their agenda, and I'm being told that they do not have a copy. They don't, the record don't exist, but it's on the agenda and they talk about it. So we'll be looking more into that. Back over here, come get me a drink. We're about done with this meeting here. They're just doing a short closed session. Actually, the door opened back up. We're gonna walk back in.
I think we can get it done very quickly. I want to appreciate your indulgence. Thank you very much.
A lot of nerve.
You should have walked right out there and done it yourself. You shouldn't have made us do it. You should have walked right there and did your 5 minutes and did it. Not here. You don't do that.
Okay, guys, we're back in open session. I would like to introduce a motion to enable the supervisor to negotiate with the Swanton Hall manager to provide backup coverage to enable to give this fella some time off. And so I would look for a second for that motion.
I'm a second.
Jim, thank you. Okay. Since that doesn't cost us anything per se, I just think we could do that by affirmation. Those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed, same sign. Ayes have it. Thank you all very much. I now have some more homework to do. You guys are good at giving me assignments with that. So hearing nothing else, I am going to entertain a motion to adjourn. Can we? Okay. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Woo-hoo! Guys, thank you all very much. We will see you for the special hearing if you come for that. If not, we'll see you in September, as the song goes.
Recording stopped.
Mary, you are so busy out there. What the? My goodness.
Sorry.
I've been watching when I.
Okay, guys, thank you all very
drive by,
much.
so now
I
get
do
to find
appreciate.
it.
I'll get together
I guess
What?
I'll get together with that.
Now, do you think you and them got squared on the temporary structure and everything's good?
Well, I think it has to be moved.
When you shared that.
That's probably something that will be clarified in any redraft.
Yeah, I think it needs to be specified in a redraft because it's not clear. So because it is a temporary structure, there's really no,
It's not a term used in the ordinance, though, so.
but it's not fixed to the.
I know where you're coming from.
Yep.
They might have some.
I mean, I guess some of that might also be intent, because if the intent is we wanna move it around and we just, therefore, if they just are planning on putting it there, and it's squatting there for good, that's a different thing. If it's there, we're gonna move it somewhere.
What is that? Non-permitted accessory structures, there, 30 years.
And how many people are using?
I'll
I
support.
talked to her,
So
to
for
her.
any non-use permit to come to the office, we put form.
And as far as-
Don't wanna give a complaint on the grounds. The only thing is that an accessory structure on that vacant lot.
Lake, I'm not
is a
sure.
violation.
Correct. So if you're gonna do for one, you gotta do for the other, so.
Yeah, if I can show how one of them's done.
Okay.
And I'd like to talk to you about Sunday, I
Good to
think you were copied on some of my emails. I had a resident
No,
that
that
was
was
pretty
a
hot and bothered.
time down here in.
Okay.
You see, Crystal.
So,
Hopefully we can get a slow steady.
it is, okay, and that's why I.
Starting in May.
Yeah.
May, and so May, June, the one in May was out. So I'm just gonna go through.
Man, I feel stupid.
Put that on.
I sent out the special, I did all the special assessment.
You'll see
I forgot.
Yeah, it was just getting it
I had like.
figured out.
I just had one side.
The city, the county,
At your office,
now
and I'll
have
just
that.
whatever's
Well,
recorded
right
for
to
the
the
month.
hearing.
That's what we're doing.
And.
That's that one that's coming up.
Yeah, it's zoning.
What else do I have?
I never learned that.
All the goodies, marshmallows.
Feature and.
It is, and that's, in fact, they're the only ones that haven't, because
All right, y'all, we're gonna get up on out of here and
county,
head on home. If you guys got any comments, you guys want me to ask any questions at the next meeting, you just put them down in the comments. Really appreciate all you guys for watching. Thank you all to my subscribers. We'll see you at the next one. We'll try to get here Saturday for the special assessment district meeting or whatever. It's about the lake beds, spending money to clear up weeds after the lake comes back or something, but we'll try to get here, see what happens. If not, we'll see you at the next meeting, see you on the next video. Stay tuned. By the way, we are keeping it real and bringing the truth. Later.